Alright, welcome back to Smoky Dank Memes Club. I already want to neck myself. No wonder I like Yuri as a character. Okay, on to Fox's Down special, part of the side story. We have Reflection. Brilliant. Begin this side story. I'd love to. So this is the 5th one. So we're almost to the end, and this one's featuring Monika and Yuri. Not really a pair I can associate much interest with, to be honest, but hopefully I'll be pleasantly surprised. Am I bothering? Good start. Am I bothering you? No. Okay, just checking. It's hard to tell since you always look so into it when you're reading. It makes me scared to interrupt. Well, it's within my expectations to be interrupted when I read here, because y'all don't shut up. It's mainly when I'm by myself that I don't like it. Well, I wouldn't like it too if I was by myself and I got interrupted, because I'd wonder who the fuck was in my house. That makes sense. I guess if you're here in the first place, then you're more ready to socialize, even if it takes a little bit of prodding. Yuri will do that for you. It's not so bad to be social if I let others do the work, so it can be healthy to put myself in a social environment every now and again. It's mostly difficult when I don't know anyone, or there are too many people, or everyone is being too silly for me to keep up with. Oh, Yuri! What was that? Yuri glances across the room at Yuri and Natsuki. Ooh, the immature members. Yuri has her head cocked back and her mouth open, trying to catch pieces of a cookie that Natsuki is lobbing into the air, but the pieces keep bouncing off her face and hitting the floor. That's just wasting a cookie. Maybe I should say something. No need. They just ran out of cookie. What a waste. It is a waste. I'm on Yuri's side here. They've really become good friends, haven't they? I'm happy. Yuri seems particularly good at making that happen, but the two of them are both on the energetic side, so I suppose it works out well. Yeah, come to think of it, you and I haven't had any chances to talk one-on-one, have we? Though that may be partially my fault since I'm supposed to be the one engaging club members. Not at all. Yes, it is. I've probably formed a habit of drawing minimal attention to myself. The responsibility is equally on me, at least to display some openness to engage. Because I don't want to. Well, what about during times like lunch? Do you meet up with friends? Oh, yes. My friends that I have. I just read. Oh. Right. But I like it that way. People are annoying and I hate them. It feels nice to be carried off again after a morning of classes. Do you always read fantasy? Oh, not always. Sometimes it's horror. Sometimes it's fantasy horror. I suppose it's all I've read recently, but only because I'm in the middle of this series. There are still 2 more books after this one. Can you fucking believe that shit? I guess those long books suit you well, since you spend so much time reading. Well, fantasy may be my favorite, but after that I'm more or less indiscriminate to genres. I'll read anything with depth and maturity, you know, the stuff that Natsuki doesn't like, 'cause she's a fucking child. Yuri, you're right. Oh yeah? Even like romance. Oh shit. Well, there are a lot of books that have elements of romance in them. Oh, come on, Yuri. You know what I mean. What do you mean, Monika? Monika lowers her voice. Hey, I know this guy, right? He sells all the good stuff. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, so I won't tell anyone if you do too. Oh, shit. Maybe more when I was in middle school. I mean, I was really lonely and people were mean to me a lot. So it kind of felt like, please don't make me think about the past. Sorry, I just got super curious. You know, we should totally pick out a romance novel to read. That would be so much fun. Absolutely not. I don't want to spend time with you. Oh. Really? Even if it was just between us? Try asking someone who has no shame, like Natsuki. Well, this last episode is going to be fun. Ouch. Sorry, I swear I didn't mean that. Yes, I did. Well, I guess it was my fault for pressing you. I'm like that for things in my past, too. You know, things I feel too embarrassed to re-experience, like when I deleted you. I mean, that hasn't happened yet. There's nothing wrong with growing out of things. It happens to everyone. Well, almost everyone, Natsuki! Yuri, I can fucking hear you. I called it. For instance, Natsuki's interest in manga reminds me quite a bit of how intense I used to be about my own interests. Makes me think that she'll likely grow out of it! Too. Hey, are you talking about me? No! Go away. No, we were just... Oh, we were just talking about how our interests have changed over the years. When did you get into manga, Natsuki? Like a couple of years ago, I guess. I was already sort of into it before that, so I guess actually not a couple of years ago, and I don't know why I said that. But I wasn't really going hard until then. Oh yeah? What was it that inspired you to get more into it? I don't know. I just fucking like it. Jesus. I guess, let me think. It was after I discovered a series that I really liked. Yeah, I was just like really fed up with a lot of things, and I got super into this one series that I really related to. I guess I had an edgy phase when I just hated everyone around me and wanted to be by myself. Oh shit. Yuri was just talking about that. I was fucking over. Hey, kind of like Yuri. Monika? Can you not? Sorry. That's completely wrong, so, like, now that Natsuki went for the same thing, I totally don't relate to that at all. It's still cool that you both really found your thing. They're almost like opposites, but it sounds like they helped you a lot through hard times. Hey, what are you guys talking about? Like, you're leaving me out of this conversation, guys. You know it. Wow, what the heck? Is that book even bigger than the last one you're reading? What the fuck? It's technically slightly longer, which would make the book bigger, but not by very much. How high do you think it would go if you stacked up the whole series? As high as what I am right now. Natsuki estimates by holding her hand high above her head, sizing up an imaginary... Oh, Natsuki estimates by holding her hand high above her head, sizing up an imaginary stack. I should get one of those mangas that's like 50 volumes long so that I can say I've read more than you. Oh shit, competition start. Not that I have any money for that. Please, that would hardly count when your books only have a few words per page. Ooh. I know, I was just joking. I thought Natsuki would get pissed off at that. I could never actually read books like yours. It's too boring for me. Oh. Yuri shoots a glare at Natsuki. Hey, Peter. It's not boring. Chill, I said for me, not for you. I can have my own opinion, I just think it's too convoluted. You fucking piece of... Yuri, are those from the floor? Oh, sorry, no. Gross. Also, wash your hands before touching any of my books, you fucking skank. My hands aren't dirty. Just do it. The oils are there even if you can't see them. Fine. Fine. Yuri trots out the door and Natsuki follows so they can bitch about Yuri. Yuri, you look a little upset. What kind of nerve does she have to call my hobby boring? Well, she did correct herself. Hardly. She was so condescending. I don't mind if she thinks it's not for her, I already understand that it's not for everyone. But she knows well how much these mean to me, so how about just leave me alone instead of initially telling me the things you hate about it? I'm sorry, Yuri. You may be right, this won't be the last time people have strong feelings about what they like and don't like. Especially in a literature club, so I should figure out how to mediate discussions to keep them positive and constructive. For the record, I've always been impressed by the level of creativity in your books, and also your ability to get through them quickly. Thank you. But still. Okay, well, this is something that I'll have to think about and revisit. I'm sure I can help Natsuki find some common ground with you. Monika's like one of those customer cool ladies, and she's just like saying everything you want to hear. So yeah, thank you for your feedback. I will be sure to, pass that on to my higher ups. Puts the phone down. Fucking bitch. Common ground isn't necessary. I just wish to be respected. Now, Yuri, that was a different episode. Then, either way, I'll do my best. I'm skeptical when it comes to Natsuki. I don't know if I've made it clear yet. Like, it's really subtle, right? How much I don't like Natsuki. I trust you, Monika, but I'm skeptical. Okay, everyone. We have a special club meeting today. As you know, the Literature Club is a place where we get to share things that we're really passionate about. But that also means we should be mindful of how we respond to each other's feelings. I think we have a chance to turn our differences into positive energy for each other. Aren't you being a little dramatic about this? This is important to me. Definitely me. Well, sorry, I just feel like I'm being accused or something. No, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm sorry if it came off that way. I will be sure to use your feedback to better correct myself. But our conversation yesterday made me reflect on the power of language, and I thought it would be a good topic for the Literature Club. Don't you think? I'm sure we're going to have differences in opinion a lot, so I need to make sure we're prepared to keep a positive atmosphere in the club. If you say so. God. Sure. The cool thing about language is that it gives us a lot of different ways to express the same idea or emotion. We have a lot of control over how we want the other person to feel when receiving our thought. This goes for poetry, narratives, casual conversation, basically anything. For example, Yuri, what's your favorite food? Flory cookies! I have them organized by category. Should I start with snacks, or do you mean full meals? Should I include breakfast? Also, is it time to eat? Ah, jeez. Fuck. Yuri, I just asked a simple fucking cheese. Oh, right. Okay, how about your favorite fruit? That's easy. Cherries. Really? I always thought cherries tasted nasty. Uh-oh. Debate scrum. What? Cherries are delicious. Oh, that's a pretty strong reaction. What? Like what? I just don't understand how somebody could think cherries are nasty. I've seemed to have forgotten Yuri's voice. How does it make you feel? I don't know. I keep doing Natsuki's voice. I don't know. Sad? Defensive, maybe? Yeah, I got defensive. See, the reason you had such a strong reaction wasn't just because I don't like cherries. It's because you felt like your opinion was under attack. Welcome to the internet. That's weird, right? Something like taste is completely subjective. Except for yours, Yuri. It's just wrong. But when I say something like, I think cherries taste nasty, I'm using objective language. I'm challenging Yuri's reality that cherries are delicious with my own, which is that cherries are super gross. Wait, hold on. How's that objective when you just said it was only your opinion? It has to do with the way our brains interpret the words. You're talking about the reality of the cherries, not your feelings about them. Like Yuri. Let's rewind for a second and pretend I didn't tell you that I think cherries are nasty. I'm confused. Good! So what if instead of that I said like, I've tried cherries and they're not for me? It's not the kind of flavour I enjoy. Well, that's fine. As long as you don't call them nasty, you bitch. Nasty is a nasty word. Okay, so cherries was kind of a weird example, but I think it gets the point across. This time around, instead of talking about the cherries, I just talked about my feelings, and Yuri didn't get defensive. So instead of clashing with each other, it's like we received an invitation to talk about our differences. Yuri, you don't need to take notes. I'm not going to quiz you or something. I know that. I was just taking notes anyway, for life. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out. You can do whatever you like. Does anyone have any thoughts so far? Yeah, I just feel like I shouldn't have to put on my language through a filter just to protect someone's feelings. Well, you don't have to. The choice is yours on how you want to come across to other people. I'm only suggesting it as a tool that you should do, otherwise you get kicked out. To help turn your differences into a positive experience rather than an argument. Right, Sayori? What did I do? Whatever you say, cherry hater! Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, come on! Sayori, I actually like cherries, so I was just saying that to help demonstrate. What the heck? I've been duped! I'm sorry, Sayori. I'll make it up to you later. How about a cherry sundae? You are welcome to dupe me anytime, my beloved president. Buying your people's loyalty. How deplorable. Oh, like you would turn down a free sundae, Yuri. You... Jesus. You're certainly a fan of those cupcakes I brought in the other week. You bitch. Eating those cupcakes that were for everyone. That was... I mean, what? I was reading and not keeping track of them. Oh, that's enough. We're getting off topic. So now that we have the gist of it, how about we try it with something more relevant to the club? I don't know, like manga or fantasy? Like, I'm just, you know, pulling ideas out the air here, people. Like, oh, she actually, it's too, you gotta be subtle. Like manga, right? Let's try to have a productive discussion about our differences in opinion. Yuri! Oh, fuck's sake. Do you want to start? Well, I'd rather not, no. How come? Well, because I don't see how anything productive can come from that. It's just gonna start a fight. No, it'll be fine. That's why I'm here to moderate. Let's just have a calm and rational discussion. Images that precede unfortunate events. Yeah, give me a little more credit. I'm not a child, you don't have to coddle my feelings. I always think it's more respectable to just speak your mind. Do you? Respectable? Yuri's expression changed at that word. As Monika recalls, being respected was the crux of the matter for Yuri. Well, the point of the exercise isn't exactly like, it's fine. Give me the floor. I've nothing against anyone personally, you're entitled to enjoy whatever it is you like. I just prefer more depth and nuance in my reading material. I look for stories that are imaginative and sophisticated beyond the surface level. So not manga at all, is my point. Oh, well that's just a misunderstanding then. I thought you were going to say that manga is for children or something. Like, I don't hear enough of that. But there's plenty of deep manga. I'm not clueless about manga. I've read my fair share when I was younger. What? Are you serious? How come you never told me? Because I'm past that point in my life. And I prefer not to revisit it. I prefer more mature things now. Trigger word. Excuse me? Okay! Hold on, can I jump in here? Let's try to keep things subjective. Because if you imply that manga is immature, then aren't you implying that someone is immature for being into it? Yes, that's what I was implying. Or maybe it's immature to judge people for having different tastes than you. Natsuki, you're not helping. Nobody's immature, except for me. I've read Natsuki's manga and Yuri's fantasy, and I love them both in their own way. Everybody's right, and we should all be friends? Okay. It's great that you like it, but I still find it boring. Boring isn't subjective. Okay, it bores me. That's subjective. But I mean, the thing about... This is ridiculous. Do you see why I don't want to participate in this? I knew it was just going to make people upset. I'm not upset. Like I said, I don't care what other people think. Like, I always got the impression that you secretly looked down upon me, so I'm glad my suspicions were confirmed. That's not true at all. You're making assumptions. You can't blame me for getting defensive when nobody ever has the least bit of respect for the things that I'm into. The only thing I look down upon is when people make fun of me for just being myself and trying to mind my own business. What, have you looked in a mirror? Tell me again about respect after calling all my interests immature. You can't. Please stop! I don't like sad! Anyway, please. You don't mean the things you're saying right now. Let's just be friends. I mean, we kinda do mean it though. I didn't mean for this. Well, we all knew it was going to happen. Well, it did. So please don't invite yourself to try and solve other people's problems next time, okay? Yuri's piercing words send the club room into a shocked silence as she gathers her things. She leaves. Holy crap. I've never heard her sound like that before. She must be so pissed. Well, you weren't very nice either, so... I was just saying. How did this happen? It's my fault. Yuri wasn't wrong. I shouldn't have tried to moderate a conflict when I know how bad I am at dealing with conflicts. It was a really stupid thing for me to do. It's nobody's fault. You know, everyone's innocent. And it wasn't stupid. Everyone in the club is a nice person. Nobody would have expected this. But I guess we're sensitive about the things we really love. Honestly, she kind of brought it upon herself. Like I said, I don't care if you're not into manga, but if you actually look down on other people for it, that's kind of the point I was trying to make in the first place. It's not about sugarcoating things, it's about just recognizing and understanding our differences. Okay, but here's the thing about that. Yuri actually looks down at me. It has nothing to do with her word choice or anything like that. So I see what you were trying to do, but I really think the problem here is her, not just the way we talk to each other, right? I mean, Yuri isn't like that. She's a lot sweeter than you're giving her credit for. I'm sure she'll be reflecting on this, because, you know, that's the title of this whole thing. And I actually think everyone should. It'll be fine. I'll just delete it. I mean, I'll figure something out. Wow, I'm just like saying that instinctively. I'm just setting myself up to cause more problems. This isn't your fault, Monika. You don't have to beat yourself up over it. Jesus. If you ask me, it's good that the truth finally came out, because I can just move on now. But, it's fine, I promise. Let's just get our mind off this, okay? In fact, it's a good opportunity to read some manga without having to worry about feeding Yuri's superiority complex. Don't be mean. I'll talk or read manga or whatever you want, but don't be mean to my friends, okay? Sorry. I'm just bitter. Everything will be okay. I mean, I don't have the answers, but... everything will be okay? I at least know that we're all good people and don't want to hurt each other. This will be a learning experience. Monika says that, but her uneasiness is given away by how much she has to force a reassuring tone in her voice. This is bound to happen eventually. Natsuki and Yuri have always engaged with each other the least out of anyone, and this is the reason. As Yuri and Natsuki proceed to distract themselves in manga, Monika sighs to herself, unable to shake her worried thoughts. Will the club really have to just come to terms with the fact that some members will be incompatible with each other? Yes. Monika desperately doesn't want to admit that, and she knows Yuri doesn't either. But for once, a solution doesn't seem to be in sight. And anyway, here's part 2 with the solution. Although I don't think there will be, because obviously during the actual Doki Doki game they still fight about this stuff. So who knows? Yuri arrives at the club room earlier than usual, that is, not late. As she enters, it appears to be empty still, so she sits down at a desk and pulls out a sheet of paper, primed to jot down her thoughts. Yuri has made a habit of scribbling her thoughts and feelings into paper whenever possible, as it tends to serve as her best inspiration for poetry. My heart feels vacant because her ship sailed away. Yo. Ah! Natsuki! Natsuki pokes her head out from behind the closet door. Ha, sorry, didn't mean to scare you. But it would have been a lot more awkward if I didn't say anything. I doubt you want me listening in on your poetry thing. Yeah, thanks for realizing that. Should I let you finish that up then? Oh no, it wasn't. I mean, I just do it whenever it's convenient. You're not interrupting. Where's Monika, by the way? Oh, she's out in the hallway. Huh? Why? Well, just in case she runs into Yuri? Sometimes Yuri is too nervous to come into the club room by herself, so... Oh. Jeez, does Yuri really let things bother her for that long? She can't control her feelings. Some people, it's really hard to cope when you get a bad thought in your head. Maybe you can distract yourself for a little while, but as soon as it's just you and your thoughts again, it comes back. Trust me. I know. Ugh. I just want us to have a normal club meeting. It's a lot easier to pretend like it never happened if we all just ignore it and move on. I don't want to be bothered by this. It's so stupid, her opinion of me doesn't matter anyway. Besides, it makes me feel really guilty and I hate that too. It's okay to have feelings, because you should feel guilty. It doesn't make you weak. Let's figure this out together. Fine. This isn't our episode though, so like, are we gonna have time? Only because you're good at this stuff. Let's try to come up with a happy scene. Maybe that will help us understand where your bad feelings are coming from. I know it might... What? Well, I was happy the way things were before we had to have that conversation yesterday. What part of the conversation made you upset? Seriously? Was it Yuri being mean about the manga? Yes. Maybe. I doubt it though. Because my friends and other people make fun of manga all the time, but I just brush it off and ignore them. But something about it really got to me this time, and I hate that I'm letting that happen. Is it because it came from Yuri? No, why would that matter? I mean, well, maybe. I just hate that she thinks she's so much better than me, just because she likes to pretend to be all sophisticated. Yeah, that's what it is. At least other people decide that they don't like me, or manga, or whatever. But Yuri acts like she's too good to even give it a chance. I'm sorry. Everyone deserves a chance. Yeah, exactly. Would you give Yuri's books a chance? Huh, after this, obviously not. What about before this? Well, I wouldn't until I got bored, which wouldn't take very long. But if you actually keep an open mind, then it's not hard to realize that a story can be depth and meaningful without being needlessly complicated. I see. But you know I like Yuri's books. Yeah, but you like manga more, right? Ooh. Yuri shakes her head. I like them both, equally, the same, so I upset no one, and I'm on the fence. I like them in different ways, but I like them both. I mean, the manga, it's really honest and fun, and easy to just let go with. And the fantasy has a lot to interpret and uncover, and it's really rewarding to have some good quiet time together with it. The most important thing is that both the manga and the fantasy are true to themselves. What does that even mean? So I like them both. And I think there's room for both of them to be in the same club together. And I just feel like maybe they have more in common than you would think. How do you get along with everyone so well? Like, this isn't our episode, right? Why we... Oh, whatever. I always get into fights with people. Like, first it was with Monika, when I was new to the club, and then it was with you, and now it's in Yuri. And I'm always like, oh, that person is being such a jerk. And if they just realized that, then we can just get along. But nobody else has this problem. I just keep running away from the reality that everyone's just a jerk to me because nobody likes me. And I don't know why, and I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I hate it. Natsuki. Yuri puts a comforting hand on Natsuki's shoulder. You're a wonderful person. You deserve to be loved as much as everyone else. Everyone has different ways they like to communicate, you know, and sometimes it makes it harder for us to understand each other. I think that sometimes we get lucky and we make friends who are really good at the same kinds of communication, and it feels like we emotionally connect with them. But other times, even if both are really nice, it's easy for them to misunderstand each other, or get the communication wrong. It's something that Yuri struggles a lot with too. It can be really hard. It takes a lot of reflection and self-awareness, and vulnerability. I'm bad at that one. Vulnerability? I always have to be the strongest. What do you mean? Tell me about that part of you. Well, it sounds stupid, but I'm really used to people being mean to me. Like my friends, and I guess my dad. Like when I don't get good grades, or even stupid things like if my room isn't clean. So what am I gonna do? Cry about it? If I let myself get upset, then it's just letting them win. I'm better than that. I'm better than all of them. So things always have to be everyone else's fault. It feels like if something goes wrong, and there's even a tiny hint that it might be my fault, then I just get really angry, and I find ways to blame everything else instead. Do you see yourself as better than Yuri? If I said that, then I would just sound really full of myself. No, our thoughts and our feelings are two different things. Even if we don't like our feelings, we have to understand them if we want to learn more about themselves. That's a part of vulnerability, you know, accepting that we have feelings that we don't like. I hate that. My feelings make me a bad person, because my feelings just want to tell me that I'm so much better than her. That she's a judgmental know-it-all who's stuck in her edgy phase and that I'm just way above that garbage. But I'm terrible for feeling that way. You're not terrible. You are not your feelings. But you are not your feelings. Say that to yourself, out loud. Fine, I am not my feelings. The way that I like to picture it is that those feelings are like your roommate. You live in the same house and you gotta see each other every day. And even if you can ignore each other most of the time, you're gonna run into each other every now and again. And it's gonna make you feel like poop. So the other option is to get to know each other. You can communicate and learn from each other, and maybe even help each other change for the better. Does that help you understand? How do you know so much about this stuff? I just have a roommate that I can be really hard to get along with. Called depression. Depression? But you're like the happiest person I know. I am not my feelings. I want to be a good person like you. Aw, you little sweetheart. We're all good people. You and Yuri and Monika, and I think Yuri will eventually learn that about you. Natsuki remains silent, feeling a little overwhelmed. Despite Yuri's kind reassurance, a complicated mixture of pain and sadness seemed to fill her, as though flowing through a wound inside her. Was it a result of her vulnerability? No. It wasn't as though she was inflicted a wound after becoming vulnerable. It was as though she began to rediscover an old wound, one that cannot simply be bandaged and left alone any longer. Sorry, kind of ruined the mood there. Yuri, what are you doing all the way over here? I was looking for you. Please don't yell at me. Oh, I'm not going to yell at you. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry about what happened yesterday. It was unfair for me to put everyone on the spot like that. Next time, I won't just try to jump in and solve everyone's problems. I guess it's a bad habit of mine. You're not mad at me? I thought you were the one mad at me. I was so awful yesterday. Yuri calls up, recalling the details of the argument. I can't even have a normal conversation without saying something wrong and make everyone upset. Hold on, that's not what happened at all. Let's talk about this, okay? Yuri pauses for a second, then manages a nod. Monika takes a seat next to her on the staircase. I'm having a lot of negative thought patterns and I can't get away from them. What kinds of negative thought patterns? Like everyone hates me. Especially Natsuki. Ah, that's terrible. I can't really deny that. I don't think Natsuki... Oh, okay, I am anyway. I don't think Natsuki hates you. How do you know? Well, because... Monika thinks back to the time that she herself found herself in an altercation with Natsuki, and how a display of maturity from Monika was enough for Natsuki to reevaluate her own feelings as well. I think Natsuki is just naturally defensive. I think she acts mean when she feels the need to protect herself. But you know, she's really not a bad person. In fact, I think she can be really thoughtful and considerate. She just, well, I guess the way it works is that she wants to receive some degree of kindness first before she feels comfortable returning it. Oh, she's a tsundere. But that means the burden is on me. And I don't know how to say things that make people like me. Other than, hey Peter. Every time I open my mouth I just... It's okay, Yuri. You don't need to beat yourself up. I think anyone would like you if they had the chance to get to know you. Well, fortunately, the opposite is true. That's why I'm not talkative anymore in the first place. Because everyone used to think I was weird and talked about me behind my back. It's what happens when I draw attention to myself. Natsuki even said she found it more respectable when people speak their mind, so I did, and then she hated me anyway. That was enough to confirm my fears. But Sayori and I like you, and we've gotten to know you a lot by now, right? Hey, what do you think of Natsuki? I don't think about her. That's not what I meant, really. I was just wondering if you had an opinion on her. Spill the goss. I do. What is it? Natsuki seems to bring out the worst in me, and I feel really ashamed of it. I like to think of myself as a fairly sophisticated person, so for someone to just treat me like I'm inferior despite my tastes, that's just the worst kind of insult coming from someone like her. And it makes me think bad things about her. But everyone else seems to like her. The only explanation is that it's me who's doing something wrong again. My feelings about her are wrong. And I'm wrong to get upset over something so childish and inconsequential. Almost got through that word. No, Yuri. Feelings are never wrong. Well, they're not right. That's the thing. Feelings are never right or wrong, you know. They're just a state of being that we don't always have control over. But that doesn't mean they have to control us. I feel like that's something I learned around when I started the club. We can hate ourselves for feeling a certain way about things, or we can, just acknowledge that they exist and try to understand them better. I can never be mad at you for just feeling a certain way. It's about how you handle them. And I think working through feelings is a great opportunity for teamwork. Otherwise, you'll go to the dark side. You make it sound so easy. You're so mature and so good of people. And so pretty and, oh god, so perfect. And I feel like such a child in comparison. Oh, Yuri, I'm far from perfect. These are learned skills, they don't come naturally to me either. It's really hard to reflect on yourself and separate your feelings from your thoughts. I just want to be a good person. I think it takes a good person to get this far. It's not good enough. I want to be able to communicate it to her. Communicate what? How I feel. How it makes me feel frustrated and upset when she's so negative and dismissive of the things that mean so much to me. And how it reminds me of me. Because I know what it's like to feel misunderstood and angry at everyone. I know that, oops. I know that telling yourself you're better than everyone else is just a defense mechanism. We're just people. We're fragile and unstable. But I'm just tired of that getting in the way. I just can't stand it when the peace is disturbed like this. Yeah, you can't focus on your reading when the peace is disturbed, right? Because the literature club should be happy for everyone. Monika looks at Yuri in adoration. I feel like Yuri must be rubbing off on me, because I really want to hug you now. Do it. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. No, well, if you wanted to, then I wouldn't really mind, so... Monika pulls Yuri into a short embrace. You're so gentle, and I love when you communicate your feelings. I feel lucky to get to see that side of you, and I'm sure Natsuki will too. I'm going to write her a letter. Oh, a letter. What a great idea. Just because I'm not good at talking to people, especially under pressure. I always let my feelings get the best of me, and I forgot to say all the important things. And I forget to say all the important things, and I say things I don't mean. Well, I think a letter would be wonderful. Such a nice way to communicate. Yuri's face hardens with determination. She poops a little. People don't naturally gravitate towards me like they do for you and Sayuri because you're so fucking perfect. My personality just isn't suited for that. And I wouldn't want it to be. But something I've learned is that friendships don't always just magically appear out of thin air. For instance, I never would have seen myself making friends with someone like Sayuri. We're opposite in a lot of ways. But I'm friends with her because she puts so much effort into understanding me, so that we can get along, and I put nothing in return. I think it was the same with you. You both gave me a lot of time and patience, and I wonder if she feels the same way. Natsuki? I'm sorry, I wasn't following. Are we talking about Natsuki? Yuri nods. Yes. I always thought that if I wanted to make more friends, I had to be somebody that I'm not. That there's a type of person or a magical formula I have to follow in order to make someone like me. And that's just like me to think that, always so occupied with myself that I fail to understand Other people. Yuri shakes her head. No. Friendship happens when you think about the other person. When you offer time and effort to understand them and respect them, and trust that they also want to be a good person. That's what I learned from my observations in the literature club. Observations? Sorry, I wasn't listening again. Monika is caught by surprise. Yuri has always kept to herself so much that it's so unusual to hear her suddenly talk about the club like this. What? But Yuri gently smiles to herself. You always let me listen to your thoughts about people. It's Yuri too. And it makes me happy because I learn a lot of things. That's so sweet. I had no idea it meant that much to you. Monika never thought much of it, but in the past few weeks, Yuri always seemed to be especially attentive when it came to the problems and concerns of others, always wanting to listen and learn more about her friends in the club. It's true, Yuri and Monika are naturally more comfortable with other people and can more easily work through situations of conflict, but that doesn't make them better people. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses and the capacity to improve, and the first step towards improving oneself is reflection and self-awareness. It's something that Yuri never gave herself enough credit for, but that Monika can recognize as an incredible trait, and with that, her confidence in the club is restored. A very shy girl with long pretty hair is wandering the bustling timeline hallways, her fist pressed into her collarbone. These girls love just pressing their fists into different parts of their body, don't they? When she finds the literature club president's classroom, she stands at the door, glancing all around her before peering inside. Monika is sitting and chatting with a group of unknown friends. Yeah, as expected, this was a bad idea after all. Suddenly, Monika glanced towards the door, making the girl panic and duck out of sight. Before she can regain composure and decide for sure to leave, the classroom door gently opens. Yuri, what a surprise to see you during lunch. Yuri squeaks a response. Please help me, I'm on fire! What, is everything okay? Yuri shakes her head. I don't know how to write letters. Haha, thank goodness. I thought that was some kind of emergency. This isn't an emergency, don't fucking tease me. Monika briefly glanced over her shoulder at her other friends. Do you want some help? We can go find an empty classroom or something. Is that okay? I feel bad for taking you away from your friends. It's totally fine, I promise. We weren't really doing anything. One sec. Monika trots back into her classroom, says something like I gotta go to her friends, then grabs a pen off her desk before returning to Yuri. Okay, let's find somewhere quiet. Yuri nods and follows Monika as the two of them set off. How are you today? I'm trying to do small talk. Is it coming across as natural? Oh, me? Yeah, I'm fine. I think that's what she said. Huh, me? Well, yeah. Who the fuck else am I talking? What? Oh gosh, sorry, I was just caught off guard. I'm doing well today, just tired. I never seem to get enough sleep during the week. Too busy coding. How come? Oh, I don't know. I think I'm just easily distracted. I get really sucked into things and start neglecting the time. Me too. I do that too. Sorry, I got too excited. Hey, this classroom is empty. Let's go in here. After peering inside, Monika opens the classroom door, and the two of them enter. But Natsuki is in the closet, listening to the whole thing. Yuri's moment of relaxation ends. She watches as Monika pulls two chairs up to the same desk, then obeys as Monika beckons her to take her seat. She stares down at the empty desk. You nervous? I don't want to do this, so yes, obviously. My foot's gone numb and it really hurts. Oh no. It's got to be moved, but I can't move it. Oh. Okay, it's just going to be NintenDan in pain for a few minutes. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I might have to walk on it. We don't have to. We can come up with something else. Yuri shakes her head. No. It's my chance to do something good. I need to take initiative. Gosh, you must really be determined. You must be really determined. I know how hard it is to step out of your comfort zone. I'll be sure to encourage you. Yuri pushes through her anxiety and grabs a handful of lined paper from her notebook. Then she picks up her pen. Ah! Hey, you're left-handed. That's neat. God, why are these desks so small? God, you're so close. Jeez, this isn't comfortable for me at all. Yeah. Now I don't have to worry about bumping your arm. Monika playfully rubs her shoulder against Yuri's. Hey. I'm definitely not comfortable now. Sorry. I'm just being silly, I guess, like that one girl. It's Yuri, I think? Anyway, how about we start by listing the different things you want to say to her? Yuri thinks. I feel embarrassed all of a sudden. Aw, it's okay. How about some of the things you said to me yesterday? But... never mind, I guess I'll try. Yuri thinks for a moment longer, her tension evident. Then she writes the word reflection. This is about my reflection on our behaviour. The key question is why we acted like this towards each other, but have been able to separately be friends with Sayori and Monika. That's me! Yes, it is. You're really distracting me. Can you not? So... Yuri thinks. I've been able to befriend the two of you because you've taken the time to understand my needs and respect my interests. Same goes for Natsuki too. We started off as pretty hostile to each other because I was so worried about getting what I wanted, but she just wanted to be respected more than anything else. Once I stopped making it all about me, she was able to do the same. I want to do that too. So what kind of things do you want to do for her? I want... for her to go away. No, that's not right. I want to do the same things for her that I'd like to receive. Ooh, hello. Alright, sorry. I like it when people respond positively to the things I talk about and not just brush me off. But I can do it to you. That's fine. I like it when my feelings are taken seriously. And I like when you and Sayori trust that I want to be a good person, even when I'm not doing a good job at it. Let's write those things down. Okay. You write some things down. I think the most important thing to remember here is that Natsuki is feeling vulnerable, so we should make sure that the letter puts her first. Okay, Natsuki. No, that's not what it's hard when you're feeling hurt, but it never helps to just tell someone all the things that they're doing wrong. I think first you have to make sure that they know you're ready to respect them and listen to them, and admit the things that you feel you could do better. Then finally, you ask what you would like in return. How does that sound for structure? It would be 3 paragraphs, 1 for each of those points. I like that. Oh, look at you with an idea, for once. My thoughts were so disorganized, I had no idea how to come up with any kind of structure. You're so amazing at these things. Oh, stop it. Stop it. No flirting, this isn't that kind of game. You've done so much more than I have, you know. You spent so much time reflecting and being open-minded, that's the hardest thing for anyone to do. All I'm doing is helping you put it on a piece of paper. So I think you're the amazing one. Super amazing. I mean, look at that. Look at those looks towards each other. Oh, new ship. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Yuri gives Monika with that same expression on her hand, on her face, gives Yuri's hand a quick squeeze. We're sailing, boys. It's zooming off. But as she lets go, she's caught by surprise when Yuri curls her fingers to hook Monika's hand in place. For a while they sit like that in silence, save for the occasional scratching of Yuri's pen against the paper. Yesterday you told me something that I'm thinking about a lot. What are you thinking about? What was that? Tell me. The thing about how feelings aren't right or wrong, and that they're just a state of thing we need to come to terms with. You know, like my feelings for you. It made me think about how a person's behavior isn't always just how they decide to be. Suddenly I don't mind you being so close. I don't know why. It's weird. It's weird. It also made up of their past experiences and their insecurities. I think that helps me see other people as actual people. rather than as insignificant side characters who are out to get me somehow. But what if you're the side character? Is that how you felt about Natsuki? Yuri nods. Yes. But in reality, everyone is always trying to do their best, and everyone wants to be happy. Monika peers over at Yuri's paper, but to her surprise, Yuri pulls it in closer, partially covering it in with her arm. I have to be able to help it. I have to be able to read it to help out, you know. It's okay. I don't need your help anymore. You were never actually that helpful. Like, I've been doing everything. My thoughts are a lot more organized now, after being able to talk to you about it. Now that I'm actually putting it on paper, I realize I'd actually prefer others not to read it. Which is a hint for you to go away. Yuri laughs softly to herself, a rare expression. I'm kind of glad to hear that, actually. I somehow keep finding ways to butt into this whole thing. I've done enough damage. Ha 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 ha. But it's also been it's really been so wonderful talking about this. I mean, I always thought you were really smart, but okay. Alright. Flattery. My one weakness. You got me. I will always be terrible at writing these things. Oh, I always be terrible at these things. Sorry. Didn't mean to put in writing there. People are just so incomprehensible to me. I'll never get the hang of being one. Oh no. That's a game theory waiting to happen. Is Yuri not human? Is Yuri a Sarknoid? What? But listening to you so much has really helped me make sense of some things. Like how I'm not just into guys now. Maybe. I mean, so just don't call it damage, please. Yuri gives Sayori. That was wrong. Monika gives Yuri a gentle smile. Oh. Can't believe I came into this looking for fantasy gigs, and all I got was real friends who value me. Oh, so unlucky. Is that a joke? Of course it is. You're all actually terrible. I still can't tell with you. Sorry. No, I love it. Please, never change. Okay, I never will. As you wish, Natsuki, you're still a bitch. I'm not gonna write that letter to you. Yuri glanced at the clock. We're almost out of time. I expire at midnight. I get Thanos snapped. Will you be able to finish? Before the end of the day, probably. But I don't want to come to the club the same day that Natsuki reads it. I'm too shy. I can give it to her instead if you'd like. Yeah, that wouldn't be weird. I mean, yes. As long as you promise not to read it. Because it's all about you and how much I hate you. Of course, I promise. Thank you. Yuri exhales, and the two stand up. I'll message you when it's ready. Monika nods. Good luck. I'm here if you need me. Yuri returns a nod. And the two depart. And that's all she wrote. See, it wasn't that much left. But the annoying thing is I didn't get any mail during that whole side story. Not loved. Not loved at all. But what I was saying, and this was when I realised that the episode wasn't recording anymore, is that, look at that, we got 3 more of these left to go, these special cutscenes. But there's only 1 more side story, so what does that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean the Natsuki and Yuri one are going to be this one? And then there's like 2 extra ones? Or maybe there's 1 extra one that features all 4 of the girls and we get 2 special scenes? Or maybe the last episode really just does have all 3. Or maybe these 2 are like secret, hidden, like secret paths. Or I don't know. I don't know. It's so exciting. I don't know. But yeah, that's it for now. We got some cute more pictures. Look at them. Look at them. They're all so precious. This has definitely been more lesbian than it has been in the last game. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not. Okay, I'm in a weird mood today. I'm gonna end it there. Thanks for watching. See you later.